I spent decades working abroad, and I'm noticing something different. More people are packing up and living elsewhere, and often for good. So let's take a look. Did you know that nearly 300 million people are traveling abroad and living abroad outside of their birth country? That's almost 4% of the world population. So we're going to look into some of those numbers and why people are moving, where are they moving, and what are they doing? What are they doing? We have to find out, and we'll see how you compare. Did you ever look around and think that the world seems overpopulated? I mean, where are all these people coming from? Where are they going? And I think one of the most impressive things is how can they all be fed? You know, when you think about, just for example, the number of chickens that are eaten on a daily basis, I mean, how do we mass produce chickens? It's probably why there's a lot of, they use a lot of chemicals and things, and you want to go for organic. But I mean, it's just incredible to think about what the numbers are. You know, so the global population of 2025 is 8.1 billion people. 8.1 billion. I looked it up and I saw that 1 BC, 1 AD, the estimated population was 250 to 300 million people. So today there's 27 times more people than there was 2024 years ago. It's just incredible to think of the numbers. You know, just compare that. So the population of the world in 1 AD was the same as the population of the United States now. The United States, or it's even just slightly less. So the United States population is 340 million. Since we're focusing a little more on Southeast Asia, these are some of the population statistics in Southeast Asia. So this includes 11 countries: Brunei, Cambodia, East Timor, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar or Burma, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. All of these countries alone have around 700 million people, which is roughly 2 times more than the United States. Indonesia is I think one of the most populated countries in the world, and that is 280 million. I live in Thailand, and it's roughly 70 million, and Laos has some of the least amount of people. That's 8 million people. The numbers are staggering, I'm telling you. So I remember a trip that I took with I went on a dive trip, and the dive master was from Malaysia. And we kept using the term, or I kept using the term, I'm not sure who was using the term, expat. And he was like, what's the difference between an expat and an immigrant? How come it seems like all the foreigners and the Western people refer to themselves as expats, but anyone moving to the US is called an immigrant? He took me by surprise. You know, I never really thought about it that before. And I thought, I had an answer, but this description basically sums it up. So a lot of these statistics are coming from the Savvy Nomad, and in one of their articles, most recent articles in May 21, 2025. So how do they describe the difference between an immigrant and an expat? An expat lives in a country other than their birthplace, usually for work, lifestyle, retirement, or education. Unlike immigrants, who move permanently and seek full integration, expats often maintain strong ties to their home country and may return after a few years. I mean, that summed up basically what I told him much better than I could put it. But you know, everywhere I went for a particular purpose. It was relatively short term, anywhere from several months to a year to work, or a few years. And I never really had any intention to stay there. Some places I did think, oh, I wonder if I could retire here, or I wonder if I could stay here longer term. Ironically, those two places were Kenya. I have a few friends that are working in Kenya and living there with their families. They settled. Haiti was actually one of them, but that was in the 90s when I first went there. It was relatively safe at that time, but everything changed after the coup in 2004. Yeah, I never really had any intention of staying anywhere long, and I think that's really what the general difference comes down to. So many of these people are moving out for work, study, retirement, lifestyle changes, and millions of individuals are relocating across the border every year. So who are these expats? The trend is, so 300 to 304 million people live outside their birthplace. And that's 3 to 4%, up to 4% of the total population. And this is growing. This has tripled since 1970. And it's consistent over the decades. So more and more people are just leaving where they live, are leaving where they are born to live abroad. So who are these expats? So workers and professionals are 164 million, make up 54% of that total. Migrants and refugees make up 50 to 50 million people, or 17% of the total. Retirees are 18 to 20 million, or 6 to 7%. And students make up 6 million, or 2% of that population. So currently, I'm part of that 164 million, or 54% of the working population. But when I stop working, I will become part of that 6 to 7%. In retirees. So what are the fastest growing expat destinations? While typically, a lot of people do move to the US if you're not American, or the UK, they do attract large numbers of people. The top growing countries are Portugal, 30%, Mexico, 27%. So why are these places like Portugal and Mexico growing? So they're attractive for digital nomads and their retirees. Thailand and Vietnam are also becoming major hubs for entrepreneurs and online workers due to the affordability of living here and the infrastructure. I mean, I can see why Thailand is popular. I know a few nomads in this building. The Expat Insider Survey of 2025 ranked the best expats destinations based on quality of life, ease of settling in, and cost of living. So the top 3 countries are Mexico, 90% of them are happy. Spain, 88% are happy. And Panama, 86% of them are happy. Here, and so for Southeast Asia, we've got number 5, Thailand, 84% are happy. 7th is Malaysia, 81% is happy. I've been to Malaysia. I don't think that would have been somewhere I would have wanted to go, but and this one surprises me. For Southeast Asia, these are in the top 10. Number 10 is Vietnam. 77% are digital nomads, and they're happy. I've been to Vietnam, and I would say I didn't care for it that much. I was there for a weekend. Maybe different when you're living there, but I didn't care for it. Yeah, it just wasn't. It seemed much more congested and chaotic, and I was in a few very uncomfortable social situations where I thought I was at risk for something bad happening. And fortunately I got out of that. But I've never felt like that in Thailand or anywhere else in Asia, just Vietnam. So it's surprising. The other surprising thing here is Philippines isn't on here. I know that's a hot spot for expats, and I do see retirees from there. But I'm kind of surprised that Philippines aren't on there. Cambodia doesn't really show up on these lists. So what do the expats love about these countries? I think they're probably pretty obvious. So Thailand and Vietnam, they're affordable, and they're very welcoming to the remote workers and entrepreneurs. I would say the visa system is not very good, or it's very difficult. You need to jump through a lot of hoops, and it does work to keep you out, and it is cumbersome, but you can get past it. So what is the global salary breakdown for these people, these expats who live abroad. So the global average of income is $75,000 to $80,000 a year. I remember Switzerland is number one. United States, Switzerland is 111,000. United States is 100,000, and then you have the last ranking of this is Thailand. So $38,000 is the average salary in Thailand. I had a colleague a guy came from Malaysia one year, and he worked for us. He made a very good salary. He got housing allowance, and he ended up living in a hole in the wall for 5,000 baht a month, where he had to share a shower, share a bathroom with everybody in the hall. I mean, he was living like he was poor, and it was just to save money. I mean, he was probably the cheapest guy I've ever met. I mean, it was ridiculous, really nickeling and diming. Anyway, he didn't last very long in the job. He did okay technically, but he just was weird. So we ended up leaving him go. So what are some of the biggest challenges faced by expats? Visas. Yeah, like I said, Thailand is one of the most difficult I've ever had, places I've worked in, where the visa process is, even for someone who's working here, paying taxes and everything's in line. Fortunately, we have people at the office who are designated to assist us, but it's signing stacks and stacks of paper. So I'm not sure what retirees are doing here, but every time I go to the immigration every 6 months to renew my visa, it's packed. I mean, it's a full day wait and it's a very confusing, cumbersome process. Language is the second biggest challenge faced by expats. I can see that it's becoming less and less. Most of the countries I've lived in, like West Africa, I can speak French, and Haiti, I can speak French and Haitian Creole. But Laos and Thailand, more and more people are speaking English. I noticed that in Laos, more people were speaking English than people that I saw in Thailand back when I came here in 2013, 2014. But then, as you know, in recent years, I'm seeing more and more people in Thailand comment, walking in the street. It's very easy to stop someone in a Thai person and ask them something in English. Very, very common. But fortunately, I speak enough Thai that it's not a problem otherwise. But yeah, it's going to be a problem if you go outside the city and in some of the rural places and stay away from the touristy areas. Bureaucracy, that's part of the visa process. Remember, even though if you're living here and you have everything, all your paperwork, you're going to be a second-class person here. You won't have the privileges and priority as Thai staff or Thai population. Cultural adaptation, especially if you're coming from the Western country and coming to Asia. I mean, it's a significant shock. I still have to mind my patience when I'm here. There's certain things that just can be frustrating, especially when I still have a mindset of efficiency and moving fast. And when you walk in the streets, most of the people are not. They kind of meander and they kind of mosey along, not really walking in straight lines and just kind of very slow. So you really need to improve on your patience. Patience is the biggest one, I would say. There's queuing. People are polite, don't get me wrong. And then loneliness. You don't think you're going to come here and make friends very easily. And you want to be careful that people aren't befriending you because they're looking for something from you. So you want to take your time and learn the language. I'd say is the biggest one to help you adapt. And then you can eventually make good friends. Fortunately, I had my work situations allowed me to make some friends, especially in Laos. I'm still friends with some of my colleagues and some of the people I met there, so that did connect me to some of the network couple of them are foreigners, and a couple of them are local people that I just trust. So that was a segue for me to gain some friendship and some network, because you will need a network. Because when you come here, and you're not going to know anyone, and it'll take some time to develop those type of friendships. You know, and 35% of the expats say it's difficult or very difficult to make local friends. You know, and I could say that's true. You know, you have to be more social. I'm not social. Probably the more social you are, the more chances you are of making some good friends. But again, it depends on where you're hanging out. If you're hanging out in the party scenes and the red light districts and the bar, you might not make the friends that you really are going to depend on. It's going to be some of those other social settings where you have some commonalities. I mean, it's pretty normal, but I think it's harder here because you do also want to just be leery of people who might be trying to take advantage of you. I mean, there are some of them out there, not all of them. So there you go. There's a lot more statistics in this article by the Savvy Nomad, but I tried to do a video on it, and it's 45 minutes long. It's just way too much. Way TMI. So there you have it. 300 million people and counting are traveling abroad and staying there for an extended period of time. Some of them looking for love, some of them looking for work, some of them looking to get away, some of them looking to retire. You know, there's a lot out there, and some of them just getting away from the humdrum of home and even cold weather. You know, so this isn't bad. This is a nice afternoon day for me. Quiet quitting, I call it. Thailand and Malaysia are also hotspots for medical tourism. I see a lot of people walking along the street here with bands on their faces. I guess they're getting face lifts or chin lifts or nose lifts. I don't know which clinic they go to, but there are clinics all around here. But yeah, I see a lot of women walking around with faces all bandaged up, sitting in the massage parlors, I guess letting the anesthesia wear off. But yeah, there's a lot to offer here. If you like this content, please hit a like and subscribe. And by the way, this is Choice at Winding Down Chronicles of an Expat going into early retirement. I'm not retired yet, but I'm getting there. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So thanks again, everybody. God bless.